Hi and welcome to Wrestling Days. Today I wanted to do a video all on NXT. A lot of rumours coming through today, different stories breaking, and also a really strong show the other night that I just wanted to do a little bit of a recap / review on as well. So I suppose one of the big stories is Nakamura. Nakamura's going to go straight into NXT. They're going to look to do that at a takeover around about April time. No word on who his opponent's going to be. Obviously, we've got a bit of a way to go to build towards that. But for those of you that don't know about Nakamura, he's one of the biggest stars over in Japan. He's got martial arts background, fantastic striker, quite tall as well, but very agile. He's New Japan's youngest heavyweight champion. He got that honour at the age of 23. He's already had fights against the likes of Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Kevin Owens. So this isn't someone that's coming over that only knows the Japanese style. I've heard actually it be said that it's not Nakamura that needs WWE, it's WWE that needs Nakamura. And well, certainly now more than ever, what with how many injuries WWE have. Hence why it's a bit of a surprise Nakamura goes into NXT. I thought they would do something similar to what they did with AJ Styles and just push him straight onto main roster, but I don't get how some stars go to NXT and some go straight into WWE. Obviously we saw it with AJ and we've seen it with Braun Strowman as well. But it's, you know, this is the plan they have, and it's going to make it very interesting because it coincides with the other big news story, which is that Samoa Joe is going to debut on the main roster on the Raw the night after WrestleMania. So that kind of coincides quite nicely. I think that over these next few months we're going to see Joe, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor. I would imagine all three of those will get called up before the summer, which kind of means there's going to be a big void that Nakamura is going to have to fill. But obviously that's alongside Aries that was also announced as going straight into NXT. Hideo Itami's injury looks like it's worse than what they first feared. So don't know how long he's going to be out for, but foreseeable future. I'm leaning towards, in truth, them looking to put the belt on someone like Baron Corbin. Now, I'm not a Baron Corbin fan, but I think they need some consistency because NXT, no doubt about it, is going through a transitional period, or at least will be going to go through a transitional period. They've already got a bit of an issue with the women's division. I don't think they've replaced Becky, Charlotte and Sasha. I think that Nia seems a little limited inside the ring at the moment. I think she's got great potential, and I think she plays that big monster heel role really well. Bayley's just over. Bayley's just ready to get called up. She'll shift merchandise, and she's got a good in-ring style, lots of different moves, lots of spots that she can bring to matches. Eva Marie, you know, I don't think she's ever going to get to those levels, but at least she gets a reaction. At least she gets a reaction. My concern is a bit further down the card with the likes of Peyton Royce, Liv Morgan, Billie Kay, and in truth actually there was the Divas Battle Royal a few weeks back, and I was really impressed with Liv Morgan because she took a few chances. The one spot in particular I seem to recall her picking up Cameron. It took her a couple of attempts, it was botched, but she picks Cameron up and then carries her over and dumps her out of the ring. It wasn't a soft clothesline or a push or anything like that. She tried an actual power move, and hats off to her for going out there and trying to make the most of the time that she was given. Hence why this week, when I saw it was Liv Morgan up against Nia Jax in a one-on-one match, I was pretty excited. I knew it would be a squash match, but I kind of thought that she would have a chance to show what she could do. Really disappointed. Really disappointed. She came across as a bit sloppy. Her drop kicks were quite sloppy. They didn't give her much time to play with at all. In fact, for the majority of the match, she was in I think it was a chin lock, but she was just trying to battle out of that basically. And as I say, she didn't get really any offense in, and it was all a bit disappointing. So she had chance to at least look clean and get her moves off crisp, and there was a few times where she didn't. And then you go further down, is there a girl called Aliyah, who I seem to recall off Breaking Ground? She just doesn't seem to have it. She was in that Battle Royal the other week as well. I think she was the first eliminated. She just doesn't seem to have any kind of a character. I think they're trying to portray her as like a belly dancer or something along those lines. Granted, these girls haven't had much chance to shine, but no one is stepping up at the moment. You're only going to have very limited opportunity. You've got to grab that time, and I'm not seeing a lot of the women in the women's division do that at the moment. If any of those girls, if Bayley gets injured or Asuka gets injured, they are in trouble. The male side of things as well, once you get past that top end, it starts to look very thin. This week on NXT, we saw Elias Sampson, who just constantly reminds me of a Macho Man Randy Savage after a really rough weekend. I wish he had the moves of the Macho Man, but he just looks... His gimmick's okay, but he just looks like he's very limited in the ring. There's a few moves that he can do. His drop kicks look all right. I saw him do a couple of takedowns that were quite clean, but there's no high spots to it. The most memorable thing he does is sit on the top turnbuckle once he's made his entrance. Alex Riley returned. I like the heel Alex Riley, but again, he never connected with the fans. I thought he cut a great promo actually, but it's going to take a little bit of time for him to flesh out that heel persona a little more, and figure out where he sits within the NXT hierarchy now. I mean, he's very much having to work from the bottom, but he always has great passion. You can never deny that of Alex Riley, but you really do want him to just find something that puts him over. He just needs something. There's that something that's missing. Like Jericho when he started listing all the moves that he knew. Something like that for Riley. Just something that would just make him stand out. Bull Dempsey's nothing more than a joke character, but he's always welcome. He makes a little bit of light relief from the more serious aspects of the show. Rhino appears to have disappeared off the planet. No idea where he's gone. Since we saw him helping out the Dudley Boys on Raw, he's gone AWOL. Tag team wise, WWE need to call up American Alpha now. Those guys have got it. They don't need the NXT tag team titles. They could get called up and they could run on the main roster. WWE should call up Enzo and Cass as well. I think that actually the tag team division is the strongest of the three, of the men, the women and the tag teams. It's the tag team division that's strongest. And I was really impressed with Blake and Murphy this week as well. I thought that first match on this week's show was really strong. American Alpha versus Blake and Murphy. I like the turn that's happening with the Vaudevillains. I want to see where that goes. I think they've got some really interesting teams at the moment. So I'm into the tag team division. So let's talk about the finish to the show anyway. So triple threat. Winner goes on to face Balor for the title. We had Corbin, who, as I said, I'd like to see Corbin get the belt because I think that we're going to go through a transitional period. I would really like to see Austin Aries, Nakamura, Apollo Creed, Hideo Itami when he does come back. I'd really like to see all these guys competing and fighting to go up against Corbin. I think that if Corbin just remains in that group, he's just going to get lost. So they need to pull the trigger on him and give him a good run with the belt. So we had Corbin, we had Samoa Joe, we had Sami Zayn. So the triple threat match, really good, some really good moments. Love the action outside and the finish where Corbin was in the sharpshooter and in a chin lock, and referee calls for the bell. We're still none the wiser as to who's won the match. This must be setting up a Zayn versus Samoa Joe one-on-one. Winner goes on for the title. I think Corbin could make a case to still be involved. I would fear for what the future would hold for him if he's not in that title hunt. And again, we never know when someone's going to get called up. We never know when Balor's going to go. We never know when Zayn will get called up. You know, is Zayn trying to be a 2-time NXT champion, or have they got plans for him and Owens at WrestleMania? Maybe he won't get a chance to fulfill that. So really interesting. I love all the different moving parts of NXT at the moment. Each division just seems to have quite a bit going on in it. I think the women's division is the one that is the weakest at the moment, and I think the men's division is going to go through a real turbulent time. I suppose for those reasons it doesn't make much sense to destabilise a really strong tag division down in NXT, but whichever way you carve it up, the future looks bright for the main roster, as long as creative don't balls it up when they call up these guys. Right, that's it from me. I'll have another video for you guys tomorrow. As always, don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at Wrestling Days UK. It's brilliant seeing more of you coming over there and sending a few direct messages and leaving a few comments and whatnot. You know, I'm passionate about wrestling. I love to share that passion with you guys, so it'd be great to see you over there if you're not there already. And as always, thanks a lot for watching.